Wednesday, the 26th of February, 2025. We're going to try to finish this window up and hopefully get the front brakes on the Jeep this morning or today. I wasn't going to do anything on it yesterday, but I got to piddling around with it, and one thing led to another, and before you knew it, things were going sort of pretty good. And so I kept piddling with it, and the door's already lined up pretty good. I think it's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. And I just used the two factory shims came with it. And I got everything switched out, and now the door opens like it should. I'll go over what I did when we get it inside. Still have to finish up, get the glass back in, get all the wiring set up, get that kick panel back on. I hope I hadn't messed it up in doing what I've got done down there. Get all that in, all that stuff hooked back up. And there again, I'm concerned because my door had an indentation here more, and then more of a slot cut, and doesn't have this screw hole or fit set in. So we'll see how this goes, but let's get it in and get started on it, and maybe we'll get to the front brakes today. We'll see. I'm not going to mess with buying the bees or joining that bee thing or whatever over in Oconee County. I'm going to level up a little spot right here. And Frank has some cinder blocks up there. I'm going to bring them down and set my beehive on that. And I'm going to put some bee bait in it. See if I can catch a swarm. And hopefully we won't catch Frank's swarm. He's got his set up over there. Look, there's a deer over there. He's going to try to get it finished up tomorrow probably and bring his beehive up. His bees are coming the 13th of March. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, he said if I steal his bees, he's not going to be happy. I said, well, if your bees leave and come to my hive, well, you can have the hive and the bees. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, it was just about here that the El Camino came loose from the chain when we were going to tow it inside here, and came down the hill. No brakes, no steering, no power steering. A couple of almost flat tires, and instead of making that turn, we ended up in the pond down there, which we do have video of, so I'll check that out. We'll do an update on his El Camino too. He still hadn't found out about his engine, about his block before he buys heads for it, but he has been working on the front end. So we want to stop here and go forward. I can't remember where we worked on it last time. I think right here. I think this will be good. We should have plenty of room. Let's see. Okay, here is the roll-up mechanism for the doors. This one is the power electric actuator, and the new one, I replaced this one a year and a half or so ago. This is the old crank type here. Got the crank on it, and the window, of course, attaches to here, and as you crank that cable, it runs up and down, and you can see the worm inside there. Now, these posts here, weather strip posts, are the same, but mine is a little bit bent from, I guess, the impact from the deer. And that may be enough to bind that glass, so we're going to use the one out of the old door, and we had to remove it to get to the hardware that opens and closes the door. Now, the weather stripping out of the old door that's already in it goes all the way to the top of the door. Mine stops right here. Now, maybe mine looks better than what's in the new door replacement. So I may cut the new door off and use mine. I'm not sure which one we're going to use yet. But we used my old handle and that, so it pushes that in, and that pushes another one down, which pulls it up to release it from the lock mechanism over here. And of course mine has a electric connector for the automatic lock and unlock. So we will get started on that, and maybe we'll get to the front brakes, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes and see if we have any trouble getting that door panel back on because of this thing. Now also we need to find the decals for the Cherokee Country. I'm going to take my molding off of my door on both the front and the back. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I think the more difficult will be to get it to stick back on. But we may go by a body shop and see what kind of adhesive they have to get that back on. But see, this just says Cherokee, and it's a little bit different. This door was from a 2000 or 2001. And mine says Cherokee Country, and it's a sticker, and also has pinstriping. See, it's completely different. But we will get this off and try to get it on where it will stay. And like I say, we're also going to have to do something about the pinstriping to match the rest of the car, and I know nothing about that. Also need to go ahead and paint this hood, which I know very little about. We did do the van hood, but I didn't, it's not great. But anyway, let's get on this and see how we get going. Okay, let me give you a little information. These screws are T30s. That is a 10mm. These here on the hinge are TRT40s. The Torx. What else? These clips, they're the Phillips head. And these bolts for all of this are 10mm. So we've got to, what we got to do? Where's all this hardware? Okay, we got to put the clips in. No, these just stick in these holes. Okay. Okay, let's figure out. We got to get this that piece of molding, that piece of window channel back in first. Put it back in, and I guess we'll use the old weather strip and get it back in right, and then go from there. After that, I guess we may go ahead and get the electric motor stuff in, and the glass. This is the glass out of my door. That way we'll know the glass tint matches what's in the vehicle. We also need to get a transcooler. I've got to see if this transmission line's still leaking. I tightened up the clamps the other day, but we'll see. Check all that out today. I'm gonna go up here and get a knee pad to get on and where I won't kill my knees. Hey, I thought that window guide and weather stripping would be hard to get back in, but it wasn't that bad. You can see the slot up there with the light, and you line it up, you push it up, and then bend it back over, stick it back over, and then just tighten up these 230s. Now, we are using the old wear marks from these screws to line this stuff up, and we're going to try to do that with all of this stuff. The only problem is this stuff is the old door, and it was the manual roll up instead of the electric roll up, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. We've got to remember where these clips, I'll have to go back and look at video. We took out 2 or 3 clips. There's 1, 2, 3. I've got to figure out what was up there. maybe everything will go back in okay, and then we can pull this wire and harness back through, feed it back in there, get that kick panel and that hood release back together without much trouble, and our glass, and hopefully this project will be done. Okay, we got that back in, and I don't know how to explain to you how we did it, but anyway, we did it. And we're going to go ahead and tighten these down. We're going to have to sort of take it on faith that that window's going to roll up okay. I don't know, we might be able to get that glass in, but we've got to feed that back through there and get all that junk squared away before we can test the mechanism. But I have no reason to think it wouldn't work. It was working fine, and it's a new one. So we're just going to tighten everything up. Those again are 10 millimeter. They got these little black caps to go on these three down here. I'm going to look at the other door, but I'm pretty sure everything lined up all the way down to the bottom, just like that. So I think we got all that stuff squared away. We have to get that back in and then run this cable back through the door, get through the grommets all the way back into there, connect it, and then we can check and roll the window up a little bit, or roll the mechanism up a little bit, get the glass in, tighten all that stuff down, and hopefully that door panel will go on without any grief. These little punch things that go in the holes, they line up just right. Make sure this is on the outside, not the inside. That way your wires won't get caught and tangled up with the window glass coming up and down. And see how that goes. That goes just like that. That keeps that on the outside. So otherwise you can get that tangled up with glass and create yourself a world of trouble, aggravation. Okay, I've been thinking about it. I don't want to have to redo any of this stuff. I want to get this stuff in the right sequence so that you don't have to back up and do it again. I think we're ready to run this cable on into there, connect it, and then run our electric motor up, slide the glass in, and then test all that stuff out, and then see if we can get that door panel back on correctly, make all these connections. So I'm going to run that cable, run that wiring harness back through. I put white lithium grease on these things to help them in and out, so we'll see how we go with it. I'm going to clean this up a little bit first. Okay, after I don't know how long, we finally got the wires fitted back through there and connected. Down there, we put the battery back up. We're going to plug in the panel, turn the switch on, and see if this stuff works. Okay, well, got the glass back in and rolled up. Electric motor works good, everything works good. I've looked at the back of this panel. There's three screws holding it all, and you got two pegs that go in holes to sort of have, and then it sort of hooks in right here. So we've got this screw and this screw for the handle, and we've got this screw up there for that one. So I don't think we needed that other little notch up there. I hope not. I hope that screw lines up with that hole right there, and we don't have to take it back off and cut that notch out of there. But that could be what we have to do. I'll show it to you on that other door. See, on this other door, it's got that slot, plus that is indented a little bit for that hole. So, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, unfortunately, or fortunately. we will get this thing here off of this door as well. And we've got to connect this other one back up. That's going to be aggravating because this spring or some kind of loaded. It's got pull pressure or whatever on it. But right now, let's see if we can get that door panel. Well, first we're going to put the speaker in, so that way we won't cover up the speaker hole. We'll put the speaker in. Then we'll see about getting that door panel on. Okay, we got the grommet in. Got the speaker in. That grommet, we sprayed it with white lithium grease. But still, had to get back there on that back side of it. From the outside over here with a screwdriver and pushing it in to get it going in there, and then work it all the way around. And this inside or outside grommet wasn't much trouble. Sprayed it with white lithium grease, and there again, started on the back and got it in the slot, and then worked it on around. And got the speaker in. So now we're ready for the door panel. I'm ready to be done with this. So I do not think the brakes will get done today. Well, there's still two things we forgot to do, or three. We forgot to put this back on, the cover over the speaker down there. This cover back up here over that. And then there's another plastic cover that goes over the whole big part of the door. We didn't do that. And one of those little wires, one of the cables needed a zip tie to keep it out of the motion of the window. But we got to pull that door panel back off to do all that. I don't even know where that other white one is to cover that big part of the panel. It must be up there in one of the other Jeeps. So, but right now, let's just see if it works. Oh, there we go. I was trying to mess the wrong one. That's a manual lock. Okay. Make sure all the others work. Let's make sure. Let's check the mirror. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like the mirror is working. Working on the left. Oh, I got a right mirror over there. It's working. I've messed up the right mirror now. There we go. Okay, so the left mirror is working. We'll have to adjust the two mirrors. It's not wanting to go down that much, but it may have. It's sporadic. Well, it just wasn't switched all the way. Okay, well, everything's working right now. Let's shut it. Okay. Let's lock it. Let's see if we can unlock it from the outside. We still got to get this mess back together down here. I'm not going to show that. For all practical purposes, this video is done. Okay, it's locked. Let's see if we can unlock it. Yep, okay. Well, I don't guess I should boast or brag too much, but I don't know anything about body work, and I'm right proud of that. Okay, there's a little dent in this door here, but that's not bad. And a little one down there. Now I still need to get the trim off the other door and get it on here and find another back door. I'm going to try to find an electric door for that back one, an electric white one, so I don't have to mess with this. And then we'll still have to get the pinstriping done too. So, well, I'm going to wrap this video up. This is going to be it. About done with this junk. There again, there's the manual crank. You hook the handle to it and you turn it, of course, and this goes up and down. It turns the worm inside there, and then that goes up and down. And so for the electric, it's just got a little electric motor that does that for you. Okay. And we still have to get the door stop done, which is going to be aggravating. This thing here is tight in there. We got to pull it out, get that pin in it. I'm not sure how we're going to have to do that, but we need to do it for that other door over there too. Okay. Let's wrap this up. This will be the end of this one.